Hi, everybody. So we have finished more functions, and don't forget that you had extra steps, written out for you for that one. And now we're ready to test our equations. Yay! We're almost at the end, y'all. So we are going to take our image, insert the image of your work into Desmos. The image will be centered at 0, 0. So we're probably going to have to adjust it to match what we've been doing because we've made a vertical and a horizontal line to represent our X and Y axis. So we're going to have to adjust our image. All right. So go to your Desmos. Make sure you are logged in with your school account. Okay. Logged in with your school account. And just in case you don't remember how to do it, let's go ahead and do it again. Let's log out, sign out, and let me sign back in. All right. So you can see how that works. And I am logged in with my school account now. All right. So I'm ready to work. Okay. So now I am going to go to the plus sign to add my image of my name. Okay. So I have that saved somewhere. And so, and you want to put your stuff in your project folder so that you know where everything is. Okay. So there I go. I put it in there. And you see how small it is? So I want to make it bigger. Okay. So I'm going to zoom out, right? So I can, because if you remember, my values went all the way up to like 8, right? And so I want to make sure that my tables, my graph is matching like it's supposed to. So I'm going to center it according to the lines that I drew right there. Okay. So I'm trying to make sure my lines match and my points match. So the work that I did. You see that? That's the nice part about using Jamboard is that when you insert it into Desmos, it's going to be a transparent look. So you'll be able to see what's going on there. Okay. So with that said, I think I got it. All right. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. So I need to also, hold on. I need to also stretch this, I believe, vertically. So let's look at my Jamboard. You see my K came here, right? And then I need to make sure, I think I'm good. But let's make sure, because my vertex over here was like a 15, right? So I want to make sure that that's the case. All right, so there it goes. So make it wider and everything so that it matches, y'all. Do what you got to do because you don't want to do too much work, okay? All right, so you have to make adjustments, but hopefully you won't have to make too many. All right, so now my picture is inserted, and now I'm ready to type in my equations. So I will type in the 4 equations to start with that I found in my math. Okay, so I wanted you to see how I type in the functions. Okay, so we're gonna go with y equals, um, and it's gonna be, the first function was 1/2 square root of, so 1/2 square root, and square root is over here on this. You gotta click on the keyboard to get to it. X minus 1 plus 6. There we go. Oh, Oh, that's typed wrong. I was about to say. All right, here we go. +6. See, you gotta check it. You gotta be careful, y'all. Oh, look at that. Look, y'all, look. That's so close. All right, let's go ahead. So remember my domain restriction for this too. Um, so let's go ahead and type in the domain restriction for this. All right, it was 1. So you got to do curly braces. Okay. And then it was less than or equal to X, which is less than or equal to, and it went to 5 curly braces. All right, there it goes. Look at that. That's so perfect. I was so proud of me. Okay, next function. And that's what you're trying to make sure it lays on top like you was trying to. So I'm honestly doing this for the first time, y'all. I did this last year and I did a completely different project. So this one is actually turning out better than last year. So this is going to be +3, this function here. Look at that. Okay. And so y is equal to 3 over x plus 3, and that domain is also restricted. We said we're going to do curly braces. We are going to restrict the domain and the range. All right. So let's start with the domain. The domain is going to be 1 to 5. All right. Like so. That's how you type it. Okay. Next, and you see this is a little bit lower, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to make sure when you finish it that it looks like it's supposed to be an E. Okay, so next we are going to do the other function that we have, which was y equals and remember to keep your functions the same color that you said. So red was radical, blue was rational. I wanted my quadratic to be green. So my quadratic is y equals 7 over 4. All right, x minus, okay, hold on. Make sure that's 7 over 4. Make sure that doesn't go in the denominator. So 7 over 4. All right, and then x minus 11 plus 1. 11 squared plus 1. Now, if you want to square, remember you have to go, you can do the caret and then square, or you can do the square right here to square. All right, look at that. Look at that. That's a little different. I'm going to have to fix that. That's not what I wanted. Okay. So I think it's supposed to be, let's go back to our Jamboard. Oh, I think I wrote it down wrong. That was supposed to be -1. Okay. So I'll make that -1 because that's what it's supposed to be. All right. And so curly braces, we are going to do restricted domain. So the domain here was restricted from 10 to, I think I said 13. 13 is what I went with. So, because I wanted to go up a little higher, I'm going to say 15. No, 14. Nope. 10, 8, 9, 9. 10. Hold on. So 10 to 13, 14 is too high. 13 is too low. So that means I'm gonna have to do a decimal, right? 14, let's do that again. 14 is too high, 13 is too low. So I'm gonna have to do like 13.5. Oops, not 100. So 13.5. Be careful how you type things. All right, that's doing a little better. Let's do 13.3. That's a little better. 13.1, too much, too little. 2, I think 2 is perfect. Look at that, y'all. Doesn't that look good? Okay, so, all right, close it off with the curly braces. Bam, there you go. And that's what we mean by making the adjustments as necessary. Okay, so then the next one, the last one that I graphed, um, that we had to graph, right? And then everything else is going to be other functions that you have to graph to get the rest of the letters, because you have to graph all your letters. Okay, so x minus 15 plus 8. Look at that. That's almost perfect. Okay. So remember, we talked about this before, that it had to be symmetrical. So it was the way I drew it. And so this one doesn't have to be perfect, because it really is not gonna be any closer than that because of the way I drew it. So, and then our domain is going to be from 14 to 16 is what we said. So for 14 to 16. Curly braces. Look at that. I'm so excited, y'all. So if we move this out the way, you can kind of see where I'm going here. This is going to look good. All right. Let's move this back. All right. And so now I'm going to go ahead and take the time to graph the rest of my equations that I need. So we'll be back once I have all my equations. Okay, so I've been working on the equations, and I wanted to come back just so I could show you how I get this top part of the E. And it may not be perfect, right? But it's going to be close enough. So check this out. I know that I said I wanted to use a quadratic because it's green. So I'm going to go ahead and type the function in. All right, first I'm going to identify the vertex. And the vertex for me is about 3 and 8, possibly. So y equals, right? I don't know what my coefficient is yet, but 8 minus 3, all right, squared, quantity squared, because it's a parabola, all right? And I also know that it's going to be concave downward, right? So I'm going to put that negative out there. Go ahead and get that out there. And I want to move it up to where E is. So I'm going to say 8, right? Because it said 8. All right, just about 8 is about there. Let's do 8.4. Nope, 8 it is. So if I want to move it over, I can make it like 3.4, like right there. Okay, that'll be more in the middle. Okay, so that would move it more to the right, and that it will point forward to the right, really. Now I want to make this a little wider so that, so 1 is what it is right now. So 1 is obviously not wide enough, right? So I'm gonna do 0.9, 8, 7, 6, I'm getting closer, 5, that's almost perfect. Let's do 5.1, 3, 5, 7, hold on. I want to go lower. So 0, okay. So 4.49. I was going the wrong way. All right, it was getting more. So I want to go less, right? 8. And I think 8 might do it, y'all. 7, right? 6, because I'm going down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and it's still intersecting. 1. That looks good. That looks really good. So let's do 4.0. And that don't look that bad either. So I think I'm going to leave it at that. All right. I'm going to turn this color green again. make it green. And if you notice, I've been using files, right? So this is my letter E, right? And what I've been doing is I've been putting this under the folder here so that when I close it up, it doesn't look like I have all these functions here. Okay. So KEN, and then I got to do the Y and A. So I'm working on it. I'm getting there. I'll come back when I'm just about ready. Now, before I go, I do want to do the domain. So let's go ahead and do this domain real quick. I want it to be here, right? And you can actually click on the domain to get the intersection that you're looking for. So for me, I want it to be 1, 1, right, less than or equal to X, which is less than or equal to 5. That'll be the same as what I've been dealing with. Okay. Now, if I need to adjust it more, I will, because you can with finding the intersections, you can adjust it more. So with that said, I'll be back. Hey there, it took me a little while, but I'm finished. There goes my name. So here's the picture over it, and you can see I'm pretty much covering my name pretty well there. And then you can just click on this to close the picture out so that you can look at the function by itself. Look at that, y'all. I'm so proud. So, so proud. Look at this. This is so cute. Now I made it a little design where, it made a double line by just adjusting the transformation just a little bit for each one. So for example, for K, that's made up of a linear function. So it was x equals 3, x equals negative 3.2. You see just a little bit of a shift, all right, to make it a double line. So that's what I did to create the double line for each of the letters. And voila, I have spelt my name. So let's go back over here. Let's look at what we're supposed to do here. It says insert the image of your work into Desmos. The image will be centered at 0. We did that. We went ahead and fixed the windows so that we can line it up with our X and Y axis. We adjusted our equation so that the overlay of the graph matched the name of the name perfectly. So the only thing that will need it to be adjusted really, because this one was fine, all right, that didn't need to be adjusted. This didn't need to be adjusted. But the domain on this function actually needed to be adjusted. All right. And also this didn't need to be adjusted. So we did pretty good, right? 3 out of 4 did not need to be adjusted. Just the domain here needed to be adjusted. All right, going back to the directions. So click share in the upper right hand corner, copy the link, and insert the link into your Desmos function table. So we're going to go back here. We're going to copy this link after we're finished. Don't forget to save. Oh, God, I almost forgot to tell y'all that. Don't forget to save. Save this puppy. Save it. All that work you did, save often. Save often, okay? All right. Now, if you notice, like I told you before, I use folders. So that's all my equations for my K, right? This is all my equations for the E and so on and so forth. And that's just to close it up so I don't have a whole bunch of functions hanging out. All right, you can always use tables like that to the folders like that. So I'm going to copy my link and then I am going to paste it into the assignment where I have the table. So I'm going to go back over here to where the table is. That's on the math work. And I'm going to open that and load, right, the table. And I'm going to save it into my table. Okay. Now you would have done all your work here as well. So, and then paste. There goes my link. Okay. So you would have done all your work here as well as long as, and submitted all your work already. Okay. So there's only one last thing we have to do now. Okay. We now have to go solve our systems of equations. Okay. That's what we got to do next. Solve the systems of equations. So here we go. I'm actually going to do that part in another video.
Sorry.
All right. But so that's steps 4 and 5. We're going to do in another video so that we have enough time to make that. All right. Thank you.